everyone, and welcome to the 47th installment of the Hot Mess Express with the lovely Miss Mary Paige and I, Roxanne, from these fishes. I know, I really should let you say my name, right?
I know. We're gonna have to practice that. We're the Hot Mess. We just get up here and
choo choo. And happy St. Patty's Day, everybody! I hope everyone's got a little bit of green on today. Couldn't find any green shirts, so I got a little bit of green lipstick and a little green eyeshadow, and I'm just celebrating today with all of you guys. And I hope you all are having the look of the Irish today. So,
absolutely.
How are you doing, Mary?
I have had a fantastic day. I've had a bunch of surprises today. First off, just a giant thank you to all the Fish fam for helping me get a tablet to live stream on, which I still don't have it figured out yet. But that's from all of you guys. Stephen P. and a few people kind of orchestrated it, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also had something
so awesome.
Then after all that, I get another package from UPS, and it's from Aquafunk, and it's wait a minute if I could say it right, a beta. Oh no, I already forgot it. Mahachiitis. Oh gosh, I knew it and I just messed it all up.
Not I knew you sent me the word, but it didn't register in my brain, and it's a beautiful wild type beta.
It's a wild beta. It's an F1, so that's my excitement. But this has been talk about the luck of the Irish. Thank you guys. That's all I got to say. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And I want to say that we had our first opening weekend for Pepperland Creek Aquatics on Get Gills. Yeah. And you guys are absolutely amazing. We had a phenomenal sales weekend. We sold out of all of our mystery snails. So right now we have no saleable size mystery snails. I gotta let some grow back up, but you guys are incredible. And we sold several hundred CPDs. We only have a few batches of CPDs left and a few batches of the longfin Paleatis cories left right now. In about a month, we'll be listing the warm water fish, the star sapphire cichlids, and the smoky leopard angels, and the gold angels. So look forward to those, and hopefully in a month I'll have some more mystery snails of size, and we will go from there. I also have some emerald resboras growing up, and I also have some kubote. There we go. I always say it backwards. The neon green resboras. I have some of those coming up as well too, so we'll have those available sometime in the next month or so. So that's exciting, and that's what I wanted to touch on. But we do have back for part 2 the awesome Hawaiian fish keeper, and I'm so grateful that he has come back to help us finish out our questions that we had for him. So without further ado, you guys, please give a warm welcome to Mel, the Hawaiian fish keeper.
Hey,
welcome,
aloha.
Mel.
Aloha.
Aloha. Hello.
Aloha.
How's it going, Mary? How's it going, Roxy? How you guys doing?
Oh, just even better now, because
phenomenal. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. I got my green on. Check it out. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody out there, the Ohana.
The Ohana.
I hope with the luck of the Irish is finding you well today.
It's doing all right. There's no drama, so that's a good thing, right?
That's good.
No drama.
No drama in the Ohana. That's what we like to hear.
No drama in the Ohana.
I like
it. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I'm back. We got some unfinished business to talk about. We got, I know there's a bunch of questions that we didn't even cover because time flies when you're having fun, ladies. We were just vibing on that last.
I know. That was so much fun. It really was.
An hour just like that.
It was so much fun that most of chat did not know that we were pre-recorded. And again, chat, we are pre-recorded today. So please don't think this is trickery.
Yeah.
just know that I'm so on top of my game. I'm doing it all.
That was hilarious, though. I guess we're really good actors and actresses, right?
Maybe.
Oh,
But I
yes,
also heard from a little birdie. I was talking about all the things that we have up and coming on our website and what we have going on growing here. And also, I forgot to mention our baby axolotls from Susie Q hatched out on Tuesday. So those guys are awesome. There's 15 of them. They're all different colors. They look like teeny tiny tadpoles, but they're all so cute.
No
They're all
way.
so
That's so
cute.
cool. Wow,
I
baby
posted
axolotl.
a short little happy birthday video of them on Instagram if you guys are interested. But I am making a video of them actually hatching out and a little bit of them swimming around. But it's going to take a little bit because I have to time lapse it. So that's what we have going on as far as new like things. I heard from a little birdie that you might have picked up a new fishy this past week. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So, well, there's a special koi out there right now that a lot of people are trying to get a hold of, and it's called a golden corn koi. There's only a couple breeders in Japan that are breeding this koi, and so it's one of those kois that are just super expensive. It's the newest, the latest, the greatest in the koi, I guess, industry. Everyone's talking about making or creating this buzz over. But I managed to get a hold of a baby one, which is super rare because they don't normally sell small babies. They grow them out, they get top dollar for it. That's how kind of the industry works, and it makes sense, especially in the koi industry. So for me to get my hands on it's like a 4 to 6 inch one through the boys over at Fitz Fish Ponds in New Jersey. Shout out to Brian and Mike. Those guys made it happen for me, and I can't wait to show them to you guys. It's going to be in maybe Sunday's video. It'll drop on Sunday. I'll probably have that bad boy all edited out, but it is a gorgeous koi, and I'll go into detail in the video about why and how come and what makes it such a special fish. So it's just like I'll give you like a sneak peek of it. It's super unpredictable. So like normally when you koi breeders, when they see a certain koi like a concho or something, they know what it's going to somewhat look like as it gets older, just by the colors and the girth and the conformation, as they say. With the golden corns, they have no idea, so it'll look totally different. And I have a bunch of examples from this certain breeder in Japan, the type of golden corns that he breeds. So I'm just excited to be on this journey with this koi and share him with everybody on the channel. We can actually see him go through his little changes, and I'm super stoked. I'm pumped for it. So even though he's little, he's still showing a lot of. Almost looks like a ginrin where they have those little shimmies on top.
Yeah,
but the rows are very uniformed, and so they look like corn on the cob, like how the corn. Yeah, so that's basically why they call them golden corns. But then there's all different types of morphs of the golden corn. So I'm just curious. It's almost like a grab bag. You just wait for them to get to mature levels, and then you're just like, wow, you know what I mean? So,
and that's very cool. That's very cool because like this is another fish with a future backstory. Like this is a fish with a backstory in the making. Wow. We're along for it with you, and it's just so cool to be along part of the story.
Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be really cool to watch him go through his little morph, and just like I said, it's like a grab bag. So
well, I guess that's the luck of the Irish because he said golden corn koi. So what's traditional with Irish is golden coins.
Oh,
very
there
close.
You go. Hey, we're making a match here.
At the end of the rainbow. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Is there any special traditions that you and your family do for St. Patrick's Day? Anything to do? Celebrate?
No, it's my wife my wife loves the corned beef and cabbage deal, and I grew up on corned beef, but the way I grew up on corned beef in Hawaii was the cans of corned beef. It wasn't like real corned beef, right? So
it's like pernil, right? Pernil.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in a can, right? We grew up on sardines, we grew up on canned corned beef and Spam. That's like Spam is like Hawaiian steak, they call it.
Yeah, right? I've heard this. Actually.
It's super, super true too. So when my wife said, "Oh, I want corned beef," I'm like sick of corned beef because that's what I grew up on. I'm like, no, I don't want corned beef. And she's like, it's different. And then when I actually taste the real corned beef, I'm like, whoa, no wonder we never had this because we can't afford something like that. We can only afford
it's not cheap. It's not a cheap cut of meat, especially nowadays.
It's different. So as far as tradition goes, I mean, just the basic, something like that. But like green Guinnesses or anything like that, nah.
Yeah.
Those glory days are over, you know.
How about you, Mary? Any special traditions?
Not anymore. Just that we are Irish, a very Irish. I'm married to a Flynn. I'm a Fitzgerald by
that's enough. Yeah, that's enough.
Right. But you know, it used to be the drinking and wild party Irish people, and we don't do that anymore. Now we just go out and hunt for a 4-leaf clover or something. No, we the Hawaiian fish keeper. Talk about fish. That's my new.
I will pour me a glass of proper 21 though. I do have whiskey there, so I got to do it for Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? It's a respect thing, you know.
We do green soda instead of green alcohol. We don't really drink here, but and we don't really have much traditions anymore because the kids are older now, like 19 and 20s, and they're not really into the corned beef and cabbage deal. So we just kind of, wear green and wish people happy St. Patty's Day, and that's the end of the show for us.
and make hamburgers at home, right? Right, Roxanne? Make hamburgers?
Basically. There's nothing wrong with hamburgers. Why not St. Patty's Day hamburgers? The pickles are green.
Lettuce, you know what I mean?
I smell the hamburgers out here too, so that sounds good to me.
I know it's the first light up the grill of the season because it's in the almost 60s, so it's very nice here. For Wisconsin, that's beautiful weather.
Wisconsin is summer. That's like Arizona right now.
Right.
So, Mary, was there any more questions that you had that you wanted to ask Mel? Because I was hoping that we could take turns.
Oh yeah,
I'm
really interested in the koi. I don't know why. I think that's something that
they're gorgeous. I get it.
Right. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking as usual. Hold on.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's a hot mess for a reason, folks.
That's right. We freestyle here.
I was trying to catch your newest video today, and I think maybe were you going to talk about the new golden corn koi? But how many different types of koi do you have at the moment?
I just did an inventory on it. Funny that you asked. I just did an inventory, and as of right now, I have 16 koi total. I don't know. Some of them are koi that were given to me. The only ones that I do know of are the ones that I actually purchased and asked about it, because I'm no koi connoisseur by any means, but like I'm slowly starting to learn. So I'll ask a lot of questions like, oh, what is that koi called? And they'll tell me, oh, it's a doitsu. And I'm like, doitsu, what the heck does that mean? And so they'll go into like a deep detail about it. And like, it's a scaleless koi. So it looks scaleless. So it's got that smooth texture. So I have like a couple of those. I love butterfly koi. Those are like my, if I see one, I don't care if it's from a bloodline or anything. And if I like it, I love them. They're just so majestic. They're just,
they're so beautiful and graceful and
flowy. Yeah, those are one of my favorite types. Yeah, the platinum butterflies are beautiful. I'm actually looking at one right now. Another behind the scenes. I'm looking at one right now on an auction. It's a platinum butterfly Ginrin. So it's got the speckles of jewels on top, kind of. And then there's also another one that I'm looking at. And when I say I'm looking at this auction, it's not like some big time auction, all right? I mean, the koi is starting at $50. So I'm hoping to get it at $50.
Yeah.
But if it goes to 55, I'm out.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real. I stay in my lane when it comes to this koi thing.
But you never know when you might love
keeping, and then there's like staying in your lane fish keeping, so you don't outprice yourself and outmarket yourself. So I get it.
Yeah. I would say one of my favorite koi that I have right now, obviously fits, is my Sankey koi, but I really love Tancho Kohakus, they're called. And so basically they're all white with a round red circle on its head. Now they're super popular in Japan because it represents the Japanese flag. So that koi there is like, I've always wanted one. And when I found out the meaning of it, I was like, I want one of those, because they just look so cool as they get bigger. And so I managed to get one of those. And that, I would say that one there is one of my favorites. It's still so hard to say it's my favorite, but like, I would say out of the 14 or 15, I can probably name off maybe 7 or 8 of them that I have, different ones. But for the most part, some of them I get like at, my local fish store. And so they don't really know. They just come in a bulk and they throw them in a big tank and you just pick them out. So, I'm actually on the market right now to look for an all black koi. So that's my next thing. Every pond should have a black koi, not a black goldfish, a black koi. It's good luck. It wards off evil spirits. It's almost like the black koi it actually shields you from evil, basically, is the belief in so many words. It's like on those guidelines. So it's definitely one I want. I did have one. It passed away. So that was when I messed up my above ground pond and killed all my fish. But I'm on the market to look. And those aren't hard to find. It's just no one really wants a black koi because they're just black and there's nothing colorful about them.
Yeah.
But they are pretty cool. Like if you turn them upside down, they're like a gold color. But every pond should have one. So I'm kind of in the market right now to look for one. And they're not really expensive, which is cool. They're reasonable. Like you can get one for like $20, So I'm excited. That's what I'm looking for right now for the pond. And then of course we got the build on Tiki Falls 4.0 that's going to go down. It rained last week, which is weird out here. So we're just waiting for it to be consistently warm and not rain so we can start digging, because the soil here where I live, once it starts to rain, it turns into a mud. Well, not even a mud, like a clay. So it's super hard to work with, and it'll just destroy a hole if we started to dig. So we're just waiting, and I have my buddy has a excavator that he's able to get. So we'll probably be able to use that in a couple days and maybe just bang it all out. Just pretty much the hard digging. I got a couple trees stumps that we have to dig out, and it's going to be a big task, but I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. It's going to be a lot of work because it's not like we have a aquascape team coming in to help us, So we'll be there with a bunch of shovels.
Greg Woodstock might show up at your place anytime now. You just never know.
You never know. He might be like, move over, hold my
Let me tell you a true story about Greg Woodstock, which is really cool. He actually contacted me.
Really?
So, yeah. So I had no idea he even knew who I was. So I'm pretty good friends with a guy named Ralph, who's an aquascape contractor, and he's based out of Arizona. So I'm always asking him questions about things. And he somehow shared my page and my videos with Greg. So Greg gets a hold of me. This is like a crazy story, right? He messages me in direct message on Instagram. And I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, Greg Whitstock? So I'm like, hey, what's up, G? Like I know I'm really cool, right? I'm like, hey, what's up, G? And he's like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Hey, where are you located at? Where do you live? And I'm like, where do I live? Why is he asking? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to come here and build me a pond, And I'm like, oh, I live, I guess, 30 minutes away from Sacramento, but Northern California. He's like, all right, man. Hey, good luck on that build on that pond. All right, buddy. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. So, you talk about someone getting so excited. I was like way up here. And then he said, okay, cool, man. Just wanted to know. Thanks. Good luck on that build. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. So, I think because, he's so busy and he's on tour. He's going from state to state, visiting all these different aquascape projects. I'm thinking if I was in his path, like just to say he was going to, I don't know, Colorado, and I happen to live in Colorado, they probably would have coordinated something. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking. He probably just wanted to know what state you're in so he knows what month he's hitting up your house.
Exactly. And so I guess I didn't fall in his schedule, but it's a cool story to talk about, you know. And
It is very cool.
I never talked about it. I was super excited though. You talk about an all-time like low. I was like, oh,
yeah.
okay. Thanks, buddy, for the support.
But I think you're going to do really good on putting it in yourself because you are nervous about it, which means you're going to be extra careful about the steps that you take to put it in and have it all done. So
yeah,
once you allow that mud to dry up, because I understand snow's been melting here. Our driveway is literally mud fest. So I totally get it. You go out there, you go down to your knees right now. So we're like swamped now. So you get it.
Oh my
Just gotta let it dry out, and then you can start your projects. So we have a lot of cool projects coming up this.
Yeah, you guys got a huge pond that you guys are doing, huh?
Well, we're not just building one. We're building he told me 4. I think we're up to now. That's with the stream in between. So I don't know if that's all going to get done this year, but that's going to be like several years in the making. Right now he's working on the bottom pond, and then he's going to build the layers up, and then he's going to have it all pump back in and up around itself. So it'll be nice that it's a recirculatory system, but he's going to do it all himself. So we're excited about that. That's going to take a while. And he's also building a whole, like, it looks like a stadium, but it's a deck. He's building a huge deck off the back of the house, and it has the ramp so I can get around easier until I can, like, walk better because I have to use my walker still. And it's going to have the built-in fireplace and, like, a huge dog kennel because our German Shepherd loves to sing us the song of her people 24/7. And it'll be nice to, a little quiet time would be nice.
Wow.
I love her so much, but she loves to sing.
You guys are going to have a nice little oasis back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a fire pit right off the deck. And he's doing the deck in steel. So that's going to be really nice. And it's going to be covered as well. And the pond is going to go, like, I think the stream will end up going under the deck for that. So that'll be really cool.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Heck yeah, you guys are doing it big. That's awesome.
Well, we got the space. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the Tiki Falls is going to be about 4,000 gallons. That's how big the pond's going to be.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my buddy wants to go bigger than that. And I'm like, no, I'm good. 4,000 is cool. He goes, let's go big. Let's go 10. And I'm like, 10? You're crazy, dude. He wants to go 4 feet deep. And I'm like, no, this is me. I'm a realist. And I don't know if you guys think like I think, but I'm thinking, okay, if you're going to go that many gallons, 10, 15,000, that's a pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's the electricity to run a pump and a filtration system it's a pool. And I don't have monthly pool money. You know what I mean? So I'm like, looking at waterfall spillways that could filter 3,000 gallons, or maybe a canister filter that can filter 4,000 gallons, I'm like, the more he wants to go big because we have this footprint out there, it's open and it's clear. And I'm just like, no, let's bring the reins back a little bit, bud. He wants to go like hard. And I'm like, I would love to, but the reality is it's going to cost a lot of money to run that monthly.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
I haven't even thought about, like, I'm sure Peplin knows the gallons of all the ponds that he wants to do, but all I know is that for the one pond, he was like, oh, the biggest liner I could get is 50 by 100. Yeah. That's just one. He just wants that for one. So I don't know.
The liner
I got waters over here.
The liner I got was 50 by 30.
Yeah.
So we definitely got more than we needed, but we're gonna use, I'm sure he knows too as well, we're gonna use the extra for the waterfall area, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be, and it's just gonna overlap. So, and that was I saved my money for that because that was a big chunk of it. And for that liner, and I got it online. It was the 40 mil EPDM liner.
Mm-hmm.
That was like $1,700.
Yeah, they're pricey.
I was like, but then when I got, thank God for the stimulus checks. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when it actually got delivered, I'm not thinking, I'm thinking a liner like on a roll, like at Home Depot or in a bag. I'm not even thinking. So this,
how big it's going to be, right?
The UPS freight truck comes rolling in my neighborhood and parks outside. And he's like, hey, bud, you have a forklift? And I go, for what? And he goes, to unload this. Thing's like 500, 600 pounds. It's on a pallet. And I'm like, no, I don't, man. I go, do you have a pallet jack? He goes, yeah. So we just pallet jacked it and got it up the driveway, and we just set the pallet there in the driveway. And then like I was telling my buddy, I go, I have no idea what we're gonna do with this thing. It's like, it's on a roll, it's huge, it's long. And so he said, don't worry, we'll get it back there. And he's just got that mechanical brain. He knows how to, he goes, no, we'll just get some rollers. So he was cutting up PVC pipes, and we just, how you just put a roller in front of it and you roll it, and put the next one in front of it. We managed to just caveman it right into like the backyard down the side of the house. And I'm like, dude, you're a genius. I can't even think that way. I'm thinking, oh, I guess we're going to have to pick this up with a forklift somehow and rent one, or, I had no idea how to get it in the backyard. So yeah, that's why he's my right-hand man, Dennis. He just knows how to do things. You know what I mean? So
well, that's awesome. I was going to say, too bad you didn't live a little closer, because we just bought a new compact tractor, so we could have helped you.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be really fun to dig with that thing. It'll help anyways, for sure.
It's really cool. And he's like, and Peplin just got all the accessories for it, and the little bucket. His thumb just came in that he has to put on it now. So literally when he's riding on this tractor, he's like a little kid. He's just the biggest smile ear to ear. And it's so cute. It's so cute, honey. I know you're watching. It's adorable to see you smile like that.
That is the coolest thing, though, because you get all those getting the tractor is one thing, but then getting all the accessories for it, so awesome. I didn't know they had that many things for it. My father,
there's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of
drills, and I'm like, oh my gosh, man!
It's like a real life Lego set.
For sure.
And I know this spring, because the grandson is a little older now that he's almost 5 months old, he's going to be riding around on the tractor with Grandpa all spring. I know it. So that's
cool. Kids riding on the tractor with Calvin.
My father-in-law did that with our younger boys. It's like a thing, like, hey, let's go. They're crying because of the noise. They just know what's going on. They're babies, but yeah, it was funny though. It's
taking them for a ride on the tractor always works.
Yeah.
But speaking of, that was one of my questions is, do you have any other pets, like reptiles, dogs, kids, cats? Kids count too.
I have a bunch of those. 3 boys. I have 3 boys. One's 16, one's 8, and one's 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're wild banshees. And then I have 3 weenie dogs, mini dachshunds. That's what we're a weenie dog. Yeah, we're a weenie dog family. So our oldest is 17 years old. She's an old lady. Yeah, and then we have one that's 10 years old, and the other one is 5. So, we're a weenie dog family. So, no reptiles though. I do.
Just want like to Jack and Dan.
Exactly.
Jack and Dan.
Yep.
Exactly. Lacey and George Costanza.
I love them.
I do want to get a chameleon. I do want to get a chameleon one day. I had one when I lived in Florida. I lived in Florida for 3 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I would love if I'm gonna get a reptile, that would be my go-to reptile. Once maybe Tiki Lounge, once it's open, the fish room in the garage. Once I get that going, I definitely want to get a
terrarium action going on.
Chameleon. What's that?
Maybe get some terrarium action going on.
Yeah, I think maybe I would just do one. I want a chameleon, a really nice panther chameleon. Panthers are so beautiful. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Have a nice paludarium set up for them. Maybe an automatic mister. Be lovely.
Oh yes.
They're not animals that like to be handled too much though. So that's the only thing. They're so beautiful, but you really can't they don't really like to be handled. And that's the thing. I want to hold it all the time because they're so stinking cute.
I know. It's one of those things you just look at and appreciate, like, you're so cool.
Right.
It's like these baby axolotls I hatched out. I so badly just want to boop the nose they don't have, but you can't touch them.
That has got to be the cutest little baby. I mean, is it an amphibian?
Oh my goodness. It is adorable. It's a tadpole. And it's got the one I was thinking of specifically. I put the video up on Instagram. It's got the yellow body. It's got black speckling. Its face is like calico 50-50. And it's got these big black beady eyes and these little tiny pink filaments. And it's looking straight at you.
Wow. That is so neat. Cute. Are they hard to breed?
I don't think so. These eggs are not from me. We actually we requested these eggs from Susie Q from Q's Aquatics. So she mailed them to us last week. And they hatched 2 days ago on Tuesday, and they are doing fantastic. I think there's about 15 in there. I do have 2 leucistic, almost adult axolotls, a pair in the living room, but they're still quite young. They're not of breeding age yet. So as far as I know, breeding isn't difficult. You just got to make sure the female doesn't eat the male. That's what I've been told. So, but my guys are super awesome. Their name are Pork and Beans, and they're super cool. And I love them so much.
That is awesome. Now, did she mail them in a bag? How do they mail eggs? Like just in a like fish? Susie, did she just put them in a bag, a plastic bag with water?
How I've seen them mailed on YouTube channels and how Susie Q herself mailed them was in a water bottle. So an empty water bottle, and she put the eggs on whatever they were stuck to, because the eggs are sticky. They're kind of like
a clutch of like
frog
snails?
eggs. They come out on those long, slimy trails, but they stick to everything. And hers was stuck to a bunch of Saswasutang and Java moss. So that was in the bottle with it. And I just kind of like poured the bottle out and like had to squeeze the eggs out, and they went into the cup, and I acclimated them and put them in the aquarium, and they've been doing good since. So
fascinating. That is so cool.
And all but 1 egg made it. Only 1 egg came in fungus. All other, I think it was 15 other eggs. They were all great, and they all hatched. So
wow, that is
awesome. 17 axolotls in this house right now.
That is wild. That is so cool. Did you have to prep a tank a certain way for the babies to hatch?
Well, they like to be between 60 and 77. 77 is the highest you could go with an axolotl. When they came in, they were at 57. So we acclimated them to our tank. Our tank sit about 70. So 70, I think that tank was 71 that day. So we just let them sit in the cup at temperature, acclimate, and then put them in. But we have well water, which comes from a very clean creek. So it's creek fed. So we don't have any of those worries. The only thing we have an excessive amount of in our water is iron, but it doesn't harm anything. Like the fish are fine, the shrimp are fine, snails are fine, the axolotls are good, all the plants are fine. So
you basically got the little fountain of youth there in your backyard.
Basically, and we also live in like an ancient riverbed. So if you dig down like 10 feet, like it's all like ancient riverbed. Like we live on a huge sand area. So we basically just go outside to get our substrate and our stuff.
That's fun.
For our tanks. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It's
pretty cool. Wow. And then you can go down. You said there's a creek nearby, you can probably get rocks and whatnot?
It's right behind the shop. It's about 50 feet in front of me.
Wow, that's so neat. Man, you're talking about building something from Mother Nature. That's like everything right there in your backyard.
Right.
It's very nice because also behind the shop, like in front of me, literally where I'm sitting, I wish I could show you guys, but it's a wall in front of me. The creek is about 50 feet, and then there's like a pond behind the creek, and then the creek flows out, and it's so pretty. And it attracts so many types of birds and all kinds of wildlife, and it's just so cool to have that little piece of nature here.
Have you guys caught anything, like some wild fish, caught fish, and put them in an aquarium type deal, or?
That's illegal to do here, so we will.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I was just curious. Hey, your secret safe with me.
But they're really cool. They're really cool stuff. They're like sticklebacks. They're native sticklebacks here and such. So they're really cool. And there's like chubs in the creek and things like that. So on occasion the kids have brought things home, but they don't get to stay very long, unfortunately.
And little creek chubs and salamanders, and of course crawdads. That's what we have in our creeks here, limestone fed creeks. So much.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any crayfish here. I'm sure maybe there are, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm new to here. It's almost a year in June I'll be here, so I'm still learning Wisconsin.
Right.
If I go too many roads away, I get lost.
Every time I hear Wisconsin, I just think of one word. That's just cold. That's all I think about.
It's honestly not as bad as you think it would be. If we were further up north, it would be a lot colder, but we're like north central, so it's not horrible. So we're a little bit away from the lake effect, so we don't get like pummeled with it. So it's pretty not too bad here.
The only reason why I say that is because of Green Bay Packers. Every time it's snowing when they play, so I'm like, oh my gosh, Wisconsin's freezing. Oh my gosh, it's cold. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I may be in Wisconsin, but I'm still a Steelers fan. So,
hey, there you go. Hey, I respect that. I respect that.
Sticking with my home team.
Yep. Pittsburgh, PA.
But another question I did have for you is, and this one is one to think about a little bit. Okay. What do you think is the most important piece of knowledge you would pass on to fledgling fish keepers?
Okay, I would say to be patient. You have to be patient, man. That's like the number. Even someone like me who's actually had fish for a long time, I still got impatient and I killed almost all of my fish in my pond. And so being patient has got to be the number one thing. And it's so hard to do, especially when you're setting up a tank, especially if you're new to the hobby, and you just want to like, oh, I got to get some fish on. You know what I mean?
You're so excited about it all. Yeah.
Yes. And then, you get one fish. I'm just going to get one fish and you end up getting 5. And then your bio loads too. It's just like, ugh. So I would say patience is the number one.
I have to agree. Yes.
And I think that's an excellent answer. Because patience truly is a virtue. You really need to learn it. Not many people are born with it. And you need to practice it to get better at it. I never used to be a patient person, but
and then you had kids. And then
I just took care of everyone else's kids.
There you go. I learned patience from my
kids. Which gives you hella patience. Dealing with everyone else's children.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Also, like a lot of the physical issues I've gone through, like the car accident and breaking my neck and all the surgeries and the learning to walk again, like all that. You're in pain all the time and like you're just kind of stuck in yourself for a while, like because when you're learning to walk again and everything's waking up, so like you get overly frustrated because you cannot do what you used to do, and although you know how to do it and you think you can do it and you go to try to do it and you can't do it, so you get very frustrated. So like with me personally, the aquariums have definitely taught me patience and just be calm and take time and breathe it out and just let it be, and how it is happening, it'll happen, and just let it come. Don't force it, because then you just frustrate yourself and things get worse. And having patience really, it just makes things easier, makes the pain less, and you just get through it easier. And also, if you're patient with your aquariums, you won't kill everything in there.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I bet the aquariums are very therapeutic for you too, right, Roxanne? I mean,
they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like that with all of us. It's like being a basketball coach. We talked about it a little bit, where you got the blowing whistles and everything. And this is my happy place. I come home, I wind down, and it just it's the good vibes. So yeah, it's definitely doing water changes, all that stuff. It's I mean, a lot of people, I know a lot of people with mental health, and it helps them too. You know what I mean? It keeps them focused, hyper focused on something,
every one of us on some level has some kind of mental health struggle. So
for sure.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Go ahead, Mary.
Oh.
I thought you were trying to say something.
Oh, no, I was just sitting there thinking about another one of the fish fam who's kind of following along, not following in your footsteps, but it's kind of doing the same thing as you. That's Chris Stubbings. Every time I talk to you, I think about Chris. I don't know if you've checked him out or not, but it's Stubbings Products, Lake Catra. Wait a minute, Catra? I don't know how to say it. But anyway, how is it? Say it. Karcha. But he's doing the same thing like you're doing. He has turned his backyard into basically a paradise, a little oasis. He's in Canada, but
it is phenomenal.
That is awesome. Yeah. What did you say it was?
Catra? I can't say it. Let Roxanne say it.
Roxanne, what is it?
It is Stubbings at Lake Karatra, right?
Okay,
or
Stubbings Lake Kartra. He's going to kill
BBS. But we can also put that link in the chat.
Yeah.
We can drop that.
I don't know. When I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about him because he's like, I've been talking to Chris for a while, and he's done the same thing, like with the koi. He's not really into buying the big expensive, and he's not in that level yet. But every once in a while, he lucks up and gets some babies, and you
Okay.
never know when one of those babies might turn out to be the one. You
Yeah.
know, so that's really exciting. I'm excited to hear about your fish that you have going. I love seeing your videos. I don't really have, I don't know, I don't have a lot of knowledge on koi, but I just know what a little niche it is within the fish keeping hobby, or not little, it's big. But I just think it's real interesting that, the education you're bringing us on koi. I really enjoy that. I love learning, and you have taught me a lot, and I just want to tell you how much I enjoy it.
Oh, thank you, Mary. You're so nice. Before I do a video like that, especially if it's somewhat educational, I definitely have to go back and read and ask questions and write things down. So I have like a bunch of notes. And on top of doing the video, right? Because I don't want to sound like, a jackass. I want to sound like, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, so I take the extra time to look things up and research before I just start saying something, And so when I actually ask, a couple of guys that are koi experts, and I'll ask them, hey, give me the origin about this fish. And they tell me the story. I'm like, that is cool. I'm going to use it, So I'll just, instead of writing it down, I'll just use my mic or, the recording thing on your phone, and I'll just talk into it. So I actually get it verbatim, you know what I mean? So there's no going around it or making things up. And so like, if people are coming at me about it, I'm like, hey, listen, I got it from my man over here. So yeah, I tried. And I think if it's something worth talking about, I'm like, oh, that's a cool story. I got to share that, or so I try to come with it. And if I don't know, I'm 100% transparent and honest, and I go, I don't know anything about this fish, but I love the way I love the colors and the fins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not, like I said, by no means a connoisseur on koi, but I'm learning. I'm like real beginner level learning too. Like I listen to these guys talk about koi, and they're throwing $400-$500 a pop at something, and I'm like, God, that's so cool. Now granted, the koi that I have, they're smaller. You can get those kind of koi if you can find somebody that would sell it to you this big. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they normally don't. Like the Japanese will not sell you a small little fish unless you're like a reputable koi person here in the United States. They'll buy $100,000 in nice big koi, maybe a couple $100,000 in nice big koi, and then they'll throw in 40 or 50 smaller koi, which is they're like the Japanese, when they cull their koi and it's garbage to them, they are beautiful to us. Well, to me, I'm like, this is a throwaway koi. This thing is beautiful. It's just, it doesn't have the size, because everything's the size, right? I will take a foot-long koi that is gorgeous. I will take that. To them, they laugh at it. It's a trash fish. And I'm like, no, this is cool. Not that big is cool. I'm okay with that, So yeah, it's a beast. It is. And I love it, but I hate it because it's like, oh my gosh, just when I feel I'm koi happy, I'm not. Like, oh my gosh, I want that now. Oh my gosh, I want that one now. And I'm like, I was just on a koi auction yesterday. I was watching one, and I'm like, not bidding or anything. I was just listening and just seeing what the koi were. And I'm like, gosh, these are beautiful koi. And I think they started out at $50, and then they went up to $350, and that was like the max. And I'm like, well, it's not that bad for having a really nice koi from Japan. But it's definitely out of my league. I'm like, I'm like the $50 to $100 range. So
we're the budget koi keepers.
we're balling on a budget. That's what we're doing. All right. So
you got to watch, because you can truly fall down that koi hole very hard, and it gets expensive fast.
Yeah. And then the credit cards are maxed, and you're like, what the hell did I just do? What the hell did I just do?
Oh, she's giggling. What did I say?
What happened? What did I miss, Mary? What did I miss?
Falling on a budget, and then I remember that video when you were doing that and you were dancing.
Oh yeah. Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun in your videos. You know what I mean? When you're making content, it just You have to. If you're just out there and you're grumpy and you're trying to make something, or you're trying to be cool or trying to be somebody you're not. Yeah, it's just I feel
yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. You know what I mean? It took me a while to get warmed up when I got into YouTube. I didn't know what to say. If you could look back at my early videos, I'm like this, like a robot. I did not know how to act.
Yeah, it takes a while to get comfortable.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I'm kind of nervous, but then I'm not, but then I am, and I'm
like, we're still not fully comfortable, so that's why I'm floating ahead.
I just, you know what? I just stopped. Yeah, I stopped being like that. I'm like, why do I talk like that? I don't even talk like that in real life. I'm like, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was trying to be like some documentary speaker. I was like, hello, we are now going to do a 10-gallon tank. And I'm like, man, what's wrong with me? I think I'm going to do a video on like my first video, like of me talking. I'm just going to bag on myself the whole time.
Are you going to roast your first videos?
Yeah, I'm gonna roast myself. I am. It's so funny because I'm like listening to it. God, I sound like a jackass. Look at me.
I'm still my first video, so
and you heard it here first, guys. Tune in for the Hawaiian Fish Keeper to do a self-roasting.
Mark my words. Yep, I'm gonna do a reaction video on my video.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's gonna be funny. Watch. I'm just gonna like. It's like I don't know what I was thinking. So over the time, it's just I just learned to just be myself, and I think I was worried. And when you put yourself out there, like in the public eye like that, you're worried about what people are going to say. And I'm like, you know what? I have a huge personality. I'm just going to let it flow. And if people love it, they do. If they don't, it's their problem, and it's okay. And it's not going to discourage me because, like I said, this is my happy place. And that's what I'm going to do. So I just went ahead and just, let my, personality go and my quick wit and just, my funny personality and just be silly and be myself, So I just have fun. And I think for the most part, I think being relatable to people is probably one of the biggest things. And just a normal guy, with a family and I just love fish and I'm a fish nerd. Although it was different for my boys that I coach because they're 16, my basketball team that I coach, and I coached them probably a lot of them since they were like 9 years old. Now they're 16, so they've been with me for a while. Never told them about my fish hobby, and I always kept it separate, right? Like my basketball coaching, I'm never like trying to promote like, hey, you guys go check out Coach Mel. You know what I mean? I never ever mentioned it.
Yeah.
I think my wife said something to one of the parents, and then they looked it up and like. It kind of spread. And my basketball players who know me as Coach Mel, like get down the court, offense, defense, rebound, box out, that guy, they were watching me on TV like, who the hell is that? That's not our basketball coach. Oh, look at our fish. Oh, we're going to go fish dance too. And then like, who is
and then they
that?
probably take you a little less seriously once they see that.
Well, I think they are in shock. And so when I saw them at practice, they're like, hey, coach, I saw your video. I go, oh, you did? They go, I didn't know you like fish. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was in the closet for a while, man, but like they just, and it's not like I'm not cool by all means. I'm not like they're into different things on YouTube. They're not trying to watch Coach Mel talk about aquarium fish, right? They're like into gaming or, you know what I mean? Something really cool, right? Like I'm not that cool guy, especially with my 16-year-old. He doesn't think it's cool at all, right?
Nothing's cool to a 16-year-old.
Yeah, I was at one point really cool. Like I was his guy. Now he's like, oh man, Dad, you gonna post that? I'm like, dude, shut up, man. That's me, dude.
Right.
Even like if it's a reel on Instagram or something, he's like, man, Dad, that was a little. I go, oh, shut up, dude. Come on, man. Jeez, what are you, my dad? I'm sorry, I'm not cool. I'm not doing all the cool TikTok routines. You know what I mean?
Start calling it the Tic Tacs and see if he lines up or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Start aging in front of him.
I know, right? I am so not cool, which is so funny. My wife brought it to my attention one day. He was just like, he would always want to hang out. Like, yeah, Dad, let's go. And I'm like, cool. And it was one of those moments when they turn into a teenager where you're like, hey, you want to go do this? Nah, I'm good, Dad. Wait, you don't? You know what I mean? And then, and then they're teasing you. I'm like, are you guys laughing with me or at me? And
you don't know anymore. Like
they're laughing at, no, they're teasing me, right? So I'll make a joke and it's not funny anymore. They're like, And they're like, and I can see the players laughing with my son. I'm like, what's so funny? And they're like, no, what you said, it wasn't cool.
Oh my
and I'm
gosh.
like, well, no, it was just a joke, guys. But it's just, they're just different, man. And I'm just like, all right, screw you guys. Okay, cool. Let's see if you get playing time. Remember, I'm the coach. Remember that, okay? Remember that.
You take your kids to school and you go to give them the kiss goodbye, and it's all of a sudden like, I'm not giving you a kiss. My friends are here. That day.
Oh, my heart. Oh, it just broke.
Yeah, our 6-year-old last year did that to my wife, and she about lost it. She was like, what? Don't you ever do that to me again. He's like, she's like, come here, give me a hug. He's like, She goes, why would he do that? I go, he's kind of cool. I don't know what to tell you, babe.
That's when you tell her something real sweet, like it was just your stinky breath, honey. Don't worry, he still loves you.
That's when my wife grabs his ear and goes, get over here and give your mom a hug.
Right.
I go, I agree with you though. That's a little too young to act cool. 6 years old, shunning mom off like that. How
goodness.
dare you? I know, man.
It happens, though. It does happen. But, kids all go through stages.
So
but we have roughly about 7 more minutes
all
here.
Right, let's go. Let's go.
One more question.
Let's go.
And I wanted to ask you, it's a little off topic from where we've been talking, but
it's all good.
I really did want to know, what are some products that you use that are your go-tos that like you personally use that you would recommend to other people? We'll make your life easier.
Okay, so check it out. A back scratcher. You can get them at the dollar store. I swear, the Dollar Tree store, they're $1. The little monkey hand.
Allow me to be a Chattanooga Ed right now. One of these?
Yes, one of those. There you go. That is believe it or not, is the go-to for me. I bought a couple of them for my aquariums. Now you can use them to like sometimes this aquarium. Sometimes I don't want to stick my hand in there because Zeus, my Oscillaris peacock bass, will attack it. Yeah. So I just I'll just use the monkey back scratcher hand. And I'll just move the plants. Sometimes they get caught in the wave maker, move the substrate, move rocks. They are like the ultimate like aquascaping tool. I love it.
That's a very good idea.
And it's cheap. It's $1 at your Dollar Tree, at your whatever Dollar General store, whatever you got. And it seems weird, but it's a go-to for mine. You'll be shocked on how much you can use that.
I like that one.
It is simple and it's cheap and it's different.
And
I used it. Yeah, sometimes the substrate gets moved around. You want to kind of straighten it up, and instead of buying a aquascape tool that's like $10 or $5, you got this monkey scratcher back. You can just kind of move your substrate around. You can move rocks. It's stiff enough because it's made out of bamboo that you can actually lift heavy things or move heavy things or shove it or push it, or it's especially if you got like aggressive fish that attack your hands.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then like if you're doing a water change, you drop the water level down and then you can get down in there, you know what I mean? And really move things around with it. So that would be my go-to. Something simple, something everybody should have. And it's cheap. And I think I did a video on the dollar store getting things for the aquarium hobby. I did one. And I grabbed a bunch of different things for the aquarium hobby at the dollar store. It was pretty cool. It was a fun video to make. I think I spent $15 and like grabbed all these different things. But yeah, that's my go-to. All right, let's get another one in. Let's go, Roxanne. Who you got? Mary?
No, you Mary. Your turn.
Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, God. Oh, I thought we were still talking about. Well, I was just wondering about other products that I know that. Can I bring this up? Just the Higer thing.
Oh yeah, Higer. You're a big fan of Higer too, Mary.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
and so
oh, you are too, Roxanne. Yeah, I love Higer.
Express supports Higer.
Yeah. Love Higer. I mean, Higer lights for the price. I mean, the heaters. I just actually,
heaters.
I just put a heater on in the new video that I just dropped today. So I talk a little bit about a heater from Higer that I'm using. Big supporter of Higer. They have so many different things for the hobby and cost effective, well made. I haven't had any problems. Knock on wood, cross my fingers with any of my Higer lights or anything like that. The heaters, and it's not just coming from me, it's also from people that I know in the hobby that have been using, and they swear by Higer heaters. They've been using them for 3-4 years, and I'm like, that is cool to know, you know what I mean? So I'm going by what they're going by, and I'm like, cool. I'm going to start using these Hydra heaters.
And that's why we support them so readily here, because we've used their products for quite a few years and we haven't had any fails with any of their products.
Yeah.
But other products that are common on the marketplace, we have like the Aqua Neats, and we actually just had these pendulum lights, and one of them fell in the tank and it literally stopped working today, and that makes me so sad because I love this pendulum light so much.
Oh man, is that an Aqua Neat? Is that an Aqua Neat light?
This is the Aqua Neat one, yeah, and it literally just touched the water, no water even got inside the light, but it won't work now.
Yeah,
but I dunked my Hydra lights in the aquarium literally every time I take off the lid, and the sucker still works. So I will always get like.
They're pretty good with that. I had an issue with Aqua Neat. I was using Aqua Neats on all my aquariums, and like the little modulator thing with the switch on it. I think water got in there or something. And you know how you can unplug it? All you need is a new one. And I contacted them, and I left them an email, and I just said, hey, I'm a big supporter, love your guys' light. I just want to buy a new modulator, which I'm thinking maybe $10, $7 for the little wire. And they got back to me, and then they said, oh, we just need a proof of you buying it. And I said, well, I have the receipt. I got it on eBay, So I said, this is here it is. But I don't know. I'm not asking for it for free. Like I'll send you the money. You can ship it to me. I'll pay for whatever. I'm looking at it like no more than $20. This is how much I love the light. And it was just a basic light with white and blue lights. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And they ignored me. They just went like ghost on me. And I went, oh. Really?
And
then it was ironic. Hydra reached out and we hooked it up, and they sent me a bunch of lights to do videos on. And I'm like, dude, I love this light. For as much money as it is, you get more bang for your buck. And they were, offering a 20%, discount too on top of it. So it's like 4-foot light for $40. You can't go wrong.
That's awesome. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, and it comes with features like a timer and 3 different modes, and it's super simple and easy, So
they've reached out to all these fish keepers in the fish fam and the community and different people. It shows me that they really care about what's going on. They want to hear what we have to say about it. They want to know.
They want our input for them to make more quality products. So they can end up being the go-to brand that all of us fish keepers end up going to. But we are already down to the last minute, so I need to say our goodbyes. I'm sorry, this is a little bit rushed, but if I go over now,
it's all good. Let's go. Let's get it in.
I want to say, if you guys are heading over to KG Tropicals, please use #Ohana. I greatly appreciate you guys, and I want to say happy St. Patty's Day to all of our lovely shoalmates, and thank you so much, Mel, for coming up. And we'll have to have you back again for just another update somewhere down the way. We would love to have you back.
I'm a big fan of you too. I'm a big fan of you too. So definitely, whenever you guys need me, I'll make myself available for sure.
We'll come over and take over your stream too.
Heck yeah, for sure.
And you guys, Mary, thank you so much for being a fantastic co-host. And I want to say thank you to Mods and everyone that has joined us in chat. And we will catch you all next week on the Hot Mess Express. Until then, take care and remember, be kind. I love you all.